Good morning, my people. It is morning, and I want to share with you something. I hope that you are nice and you are good, and God have kept you. So I want to share with you some nuggets which helped me, and which I came, in fact, I realized them later because, as many of you know that I live in West Nation. Now it's not a secret anymore. Before I did not used to say where I live, but sometimes it's very good for people to understand where you live, or to get know where you live, because some people may, our climate or our environment where we settled do change us a lot. I'm telling you, it's very, very dark here. Winter, spring autumns have started. It's very, 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 it is very dark. I hope that you can see how dark it is, but I put the light of my car on so that you can see me. So when I came to this nation, despite that I had a husband, but we came from different backgrounds, and that was a big challenge for me and for him. Because and then it's like him, it was a new thing, because he had not he had not gone out of his nation. So when he met me, or when we met, I was like the farthest person he have never met, and of course we did not meet physically. We met on some pages, because most of both of us, we were doing business. I know that I've mentioned this one before. So we met on some pages which I don't want to mention today, and then he came to Kenya. We married, and then first I wanted him to come to Kenya. First I wanted to come and see aloud, but it became impossible for me. So at long last we decided that he's the one who is going to come, and it worked for him. So when he came, it was all that, and then I migrated now to these nations. And I can tell you that if you have migrated even from one town to the other, it is not always unusual business as people they think. It is not easy, because it can be the same nation, but you can not to the next town. I don't mean the next town to your town. Like when you shift from one place to very far from home, a place where even you don't know, you have no idea. You get it right when you shift or you move to that place that there's some things, there's some datas you could have collected before you moved. And this is the same. This is what I want to share with you, because the time before I shifted, computer was there, but it was today generation, you have a very good high chance not to struggle like us, because now people even there's so much communication on YouTube. There's so much information on all over the internet. That is one advantage of today, that the world is connected. So but myself, then I was grown in the village. Then the time I was at Nairobi, it was quite a short time, and I was not as I was very young. So at my 20s, I had not come to that point of thinking that such things, if it was today, I am a little bit mature, but by then I was so young to think of such things. So it was a challenge. But what I wanted to tell somebody, that if you want to shift to a new place, or if you are planning, or if like you meet somebody, you are dating somebody, or you are going for business in some new places, first of all, I wanted to talk about settlement, settling at new places. It is good to change climate, but it has its challenges, very much challenges, because some people, you don't get it on your head like the way I did not get it on my head, how serious it was for me to shift from one continent to the other. It hit me when I came here. So one thing that helps someone to settle and to start understanding, especially when you're moving from one culture to the other, one nation to the other. Those are two different, it's like heaven and hell. It's too much you need to collect. It's too much. And that's what I want to tell people, that before you move, and that have taught me even before I traveled, because I love traveling. I do study so much data that I have so much information about where I am going. At least I have a clue. And then it became like my trade to collect data everywhere I'm going. Even when I'm moving from this town to like the capital city of this nation, I have to study. Even I understood that even when you are traveling, you are flying, you can check on the internet which gate you are supposed to board your plane. Such data. So this information is very important if you are travelers, or you are migrants like me, or you are planning to migrate once in your lifetime. You have such dreams. It is very good to collect data of where you are going. You may think that you know, but you don't know. It will hit you like the way it hit me, that I had such many things it delayed some of my things that I should, if I knew some of things. The funny thing, if you have never been married by these, or you have never come into contact with people from other nations, we behave very different. Like the Scandinavians, they mind their own business. So even there was a time I was asking my husband whether did he think that I knew, or that was all that he was teaching me. Did he think that did he sat and imagine that I knew all that information that I wanted? Because to some extent I thought that he could have helped me to settle, but it's like he did not get it, how hard it was for me, that I really needed his help so that I could be able to settle quickly. It's like he did not get it in his head that I needed him so much, so that because I knew nothing about this place. He had been born here, and so for him to expect me like to have collected all these data and to have known, I found it rather strange. For me, I found it rather strange. Like, it hit me after some years, and then I started questioning him. Because there are so many things I missed because of myself. Because one thing, I shifted to a nation where I had to learn language, and it was a challenge for me. When you shift to a nation where you are required to lead a language, first of all, you cannot go to workplaces. You have to go back to school, and you start learning language. Even if you are learned, you have your doctrine or whatever. Like in West, before they used to employ people, and then they realized that this language thing, it is becoming a problem because you cannot work. Most of the things today you need to communicate. So if you can be learned and you can, but to some point you cannot give the service that is required because something is lacking. And what is lacking is that you cannot communicate. You cannot communicate. So it's become a challenge for somebody that if you cannot communicate, you cannot work. So first thing that I was really, really hungry for is to know the language. And that's why you hear I struggle to speak English, because I was so much focused because I wanted to settle. So I did not consider my mother tongue, the other language in Kenya. What I was all after is, how am I going to settle in this nation? And the only way to settle is to learn the language so that I can be able to communicate with people. I can be able to get some data. And somebody may ask me, where do you get this information from? Yes, you are telling us that we need to collect data. Where and how? And when should we collect this data? I tell you that the best, today I mentioned about internet. Today there is internet, you can read, you can Google, but it is not as much. Most of the data you collect when you are in that place, you are traveling. We know that in West nations and the developed nations, there is this we call a tourist bureau. You never miss, even even in the remote nations in Europe, you never miss tourist bureau. I don't know why we don't have tourist bureau in most of the Africans, because most of the nations that have gone, I always stress the tourist bureau. Then because they know much about. They will inform you. They give you even a guide. A guide what? What do we call it? They'll give you a map and names. They'll give you most of the information you need. So it's just you go in there and you question all that you need. They know they're equipped with most of the information because that is their work. To inform people, tourists, and all that. Then another place that when you get into new places, you should try to locate are the organizations like churches. That is why you see most of the people, when they migrate, they become religious the first year, the second year. They attend churches, not because they're in need of, not because, even some people who have nothing to do with the church, from other religion, they attend churches just to collect data because they need church. Because like here in the West, if you are, because here people, they mind their own business. Church is one. I have to put this one to my car is having a lot of dim. I have to put this one to eliminate dim, because when church here in West, it is the only solution when you don't have anybody to help you. You are really desperate. You have to look for the church, at least to get a way of surviving in matters relating, like when you don't have papers, you have to get church. At least they help you with things like food and clothing, even if they are second hands, because they get it's people who donate. They don't have their own. At least you have something for survival. So it is better to look for a church when you are migrant. Look for a church near where you live. Another thing, like in West, it's good to go to look at office like the social government, if especially when you have children, because and try to lead some of these. Try to ask. That's why you should, because these people in the church, they will tell you, like, when you don't have a job like here, and you are a migrant, it is the work of the social government to know what you live off, to know what, because it's a rule that every person, it is the rule that social government should provide people with the basic need. And the basic need, we know, they are clothes, food, and shelter. So it doesn't matter whether you have papers or not. They have to consider that one, because you are living there. They cannot ignore. So it is very good to know. And nobody here in the West that will mind your business, especially we Scandinavian people here, they don't mind the business of others. That's why I tell you, I want to give you this information, because I know how much I struggled in these West nations, because not the man that I had, not myself, nobody surely told me this is the way to go. And I really struggled. And that's why I don't want anybody else to struggle like the way I struggled. For really I struggled. But thanks to the school. Because when I came, like today, to get even the four numbers, the personal numbers, the time I came, it was like, even you did not need to ask. They said you papers directly. Then it depends on how you landed in that nation. If it's illegal, of course, there are some matters. You have to take two precautions. But I came legally, married, so it was like everything was floating. So I started, I remember when I came, it was during winter. And I stayed at home just 1 month before I started running. I went to this adult school of learning language. So I learned language, and I was so curious, I've told you. Within 4 courses, within 1.5 years, I was able to lead those courses. Then I could communicate. Then when I was in school, teachers are another source of information. Even if you settled in another nation or in a new place, maybe you're not going to school yourself, but you have children in a certain school allowed there. Maybe it's dark now. Let me put you there. So try to use your children to reach the school, because school is another source of where you can get information about the new place that you have just moved. So try to get into contact with the teachers, with the headmasters. Express yourself everywhere you go. I am new here, even to your neighbors. Let them know. You know, if you are talkative like I myself, sometimes to be talkative, it have advantage and disadvantage, because you can talk too much, even the things that you are not supposed to talk. But most of the things that most of cases, people who get help are those people who talk. You express yourself. You say what you want. You try to, because some people will not find contact or try to communicate with you before you start. Some people, they are waiting for you to start communicating. Maybe even your neighbors are realizing that this person is very new. Depending on how you behave, even how sometimes you know somebody is new, depending on how their behaviors, how they are living, you understand this person is very new. And so when you go a step forward and you approach. That is the word. Approach people. Because some people, like, I can tell you, Scandinavians will never approach you before you approach them. They will never. So approach them. Express yourself. Be social and friendly to the people around there, because you need their help. And especially because of my age, I was 20s. Most of the people were concerned, like, what a small girl, and this my little body, is another problem. Even I think they were expecting maybe I was just 18, or I was even not 18. They were so much concerned about me, and I got favor that I had good neighbors, especially when we bought the house. Even the neighbors where I met my husband in apartment, they were so friendly, but they were old, so they did not. And the young woman who was our neighbor, she worked very far. She left in the morning, then come in the evening. So I tell you that it is always good to know some of these things, because I want to tell somebody that it is not easy, and I wanted to share with you today, because I came to realize how important it was. Some people, they try to locate long people. It is very good to say like this. Some people may try to locate long people. Like, you want to locate sometimes I met people who are African, and you see that they try to get your attention, but I don't think like it is the best choice. Yeah, of course, now I've lived here for a long time. I can guide and I can give somebody information. But most of the people, they do long. Like you try to locate most of the people, especially. I'm sorry to say this, but I have to say, because it's the truth. Most of the people that we come from African and Asian nations, we are not so much dataed. I came to realize that, and I'm not a racist. I am an African myself, but the truth is, how we were born and how we were raised, it's another level. It's another level. So when you shift to another place, let me say, like, because if you are shifting from Tanzania to Uganda, there are no, maybe even the white immigrant. Let me collect myself and say, it is good to collect data from immigrant, because they will tell you, because if they are genuine enough, they will try to help you if they have lived there for a long time. But try to collect data from the right people. That's what I wanted to say. Collect data from the right people. Mostly the indigenous of that nations that you want to settle. Not people who are migrants. They might be also in the process of trying to settle. So, and because my time is gone, I hope that I've helped somebody. And in case you have something that you would love to ask, just let me know, comment it, and then I know that I've not been good in reading comment, but I've not seen so much comment, but I'll try. I have even a message page where you can try to locate me, but write it there in the comment section when I see it variable, because even some people, somebody's followers, they're the ones that come up with some of these you can come up with some of these topics. That what do you want to know? What more do you want to know? Now you have told us about this. You come up with some things that can bring about another topic. So see you in the next video. Make sure that you share, subscribe, and like. Bye bye.